Okay, I think we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hopefully, you're watching this live, but if you're watching the replay, and from wherever you're watching in the world, we just want to welcome you today. Thank you for tuning in today to the VBP Victorious Business Professional Business Spotlight, where we are shining the light on entrepreneurs at Victory in Christ Christian Center who are in our business directory. My name is Claire Lyons-DeVaughn. I am the director of the Victorious Business Professional Ministry. I'm also the broker owner of Lions View Realty. And I just want to take a moment to thank God. So, God, we thank you for another day, for blessing our families and our businesses, for protection from hurt, harm, and danger, for keeping us healthy, for mercy and for grace, and most of all, for loving us unconditionally. As always, I'd like to send love, light, and prayers out to anyone who has lost someone in transition. If you have anyone who's in the hospital and you can't see them for whatever reason, um, well, probably not so much now, but if you're still experiencing physical distancing, and shout out all of the essential employees who are providing needed services in healthcare, transportation, food, fire protection, and especially our leadership. So you might be wondering, who is VBP? What is the Victorious Business Professional? So VBP, we offer content and programs that develop business professionalism, increase spiritual awareness as a business principle, and provide resources for business growth. Our ministry is both for entrepreneurs and for business professionals to enhance your business life. We empower both our entrepreneurs and our business professionals to use their gifts, their callings, to partner with our local church, to network with other business professionals, and to expand their business for the kingdom of God and be equipped as kingdom leaders in their business life. So I invite you to check us out on Facebook, like our page. We have an upcoming event today, which is our VDP network, where you can connect with other business professionals. Um, and there are basically, I'm going to put the chat in the link in the chat a little later on how you can connect with us. That starts at 8 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. So we have basically 5 pillars, which inform all that we do in our ministry. And they have the acronym KNEEL, like kneel in prayer. So it's KNEEL. The first K is for kingdom. And we want you to think kingdom first. So as God's provision for your vision, you are provision for the house of God. The second is for networking. And we network to build relationships in a Christian environment and to attract business-minded people to Victory in Christ Christian Center and also to the kingdom of God. The E stands for education, where we provide tools to start, grow, and develop your business so that you can be ambassadors for Christ and be Christ-like in your business dealings. The next E is for exposure, where we provide opportunities to market your products and services to Victory partners and to the community at large. And the last is for leadership, where you can develop leader skills by serving in the Victorious Business Professional Ministry and by taking leadership classes at Victory in Christ Christian Center. So I'm really, really excited today to introduce our special guest who is new to Victory and also to our ministry. His name is Darian Collick, and he is the owner of Forward Financial Group, which is a company whose mission is to help individuals and families, and he provides them with a financial plan that helps you build wealth, be debt-free, and be financially independent. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Darian Collick. How are you? Thank you for joining us today.
Good. Thank you for having me, Miss Claire. Good afternoon, everyone. Look forward to being on here. So It's definitely a pleasure. So looking forward to this.
Awesome. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a father of two wonderful kids, husband to awesome wife, and I'm partner with Victory in Christ Christian Center Church. I'm part of the mentoring men's group. So been there, for a few years, and really helped me develop into the, build, some godly character in my life that much needed. And, just I reside right now in Wilmington, Delaware, and right now working with the financial services side. It's just a passion and really a personal goal because of the, unfortunately, the background I have growing up and family, that this is just something I really want to, aspire people, encourage them to really, reach their goals. And it can be done, especially being debt free.
Indeed. So tell us a little bit about your company and what you do there.
Well, the premise is based upon three areas: showing people how to get out of debt, building wealth, and safeguarding their investments. And the key factor which separates is that it's free of charge. And so a lot of financial companies don't, well, I would say don't, they offer a lot of good things. But whereas for a financial group is, we're just really, the initial appointment and the setup is really just a free opportunity to sit down with that individual and a family and really get a customized plan pertaining to them and really help them carry it out. And that's why one of the titles per se is that a money coach. And that's where I come in and really just help you with a game plan to say, okay, how does this work? How does this fit in your life? And how can we get, maximize opportunity? And we have been working in my personal life, my family life. So we've seen debt increase. We've been using cash to doing things that normally would take years, or just having the patience to make the right decisions. And that's really part of the game plan. I can't hear you.
My mic. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Having a little bit of issues with my mic.
Okay.
So trying something different here. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. So I turned the mic off on my computer, but left it off on my cam. So as long as you can hear me, you're all good.
Okay. Yeah.
So if people are, you say you help people with debt, with their debt, is it a financial planning service, or so exactly what is the service that you provide?
Yeah, there's a few things that we're not a debt consolidation company. We're not a budgeting company. Basically, what we do is that we have there's a really a detailed. We go over the overview of the company, and with that, what we provide regarding the services, it really depends on the individual or the family what their needs are. So basically, the three areas: I am licensed in insurance. We do work in investments, and also in the area of doing wills. We help individuals or families in that area because we found out, a lot of people don't have enough coverage per se in life insurance, or they don't have the financial understanding in that area. As far as investments, our main goal is safeguard investments. So with the volatility of the market and how everything is moving, some people they're not in debt. They just want to, how can I make sure my money gets, the maximum potential? What opportunities can I look at? And so without going into that, detail, that's where the meeting, that's where the plan comes. The plan is just getting some basic information from the family, what their needs are. Primarily looking, at a married couple. You may have kids who are older or still live at home or in college. Just have an income, but just need to fine tune what's going on, or really on the dramatic end. And there's some information with that could get into later with how the company got started, because the founders really were in some serious debt, and if they can turn it around, you can turn it around. And so the services are just here to provide you with the right information to make the right decision. We have some vendors that really are AAA or A+, that they're debt free, and that they're currently provide services for, like I said, the families for their best interests.
Right. So do you give people a written plan at the end of your consultation?
Not at first. The first part, the initial consultation, is really getting the overview of who they are, what we do, and their information. If they do have a lot of consumer debt, or where if they have assets. So I can't say until after that first consultation. Then from there, we have a plan development team, and basically just put the information in within a week's time, usually 5 days or earlier turnaround, and set up the initial second appointment, go over the plan, and really recommend it, recommendations pertaining to what is needed or what needs to change. We also, regard like property casualty or things like that, we don't operate in that area. We just do recommendations if you need, changes in your property or casualty area as far as mortgages, or if you mean life, not auto insurance, things like that. We just make recommendations in our area. So I just want to point that out as well. So it's just helping people, connect the dots.
Gotcha. How did you get started in this line of work?
It was about 3 years, and actually was I saw it on TV. The owners, you may not be familiar with them. I'll just go over. Their name is Gary and Drenda Cassie. They're based out of Ohio. They actually are pastors of Faith Life Ministries. And basically, Gary, he's has an interesting story. Won't get into all the details, but they were, in insurance sales as well. They were primarily doing like the Private America. Just so some people may, familiar with that. And make a long story short, that they were maxed out credit cards, about 26,000 owned relatives. The cars were, beat up, over $100,000 in debt. And within really a 2-year turnaround, basically he got to his end. They couldn't get any more credit or anything like that. So he cried out to God, make a long story short, and God showed him some principles in his word. And then through the current insurance company, he started seeing different ideas to say, how could I save money for these families without really changing their income? And that's how it got started back in 1988. And when I heard about it, and, just being honest myself, soul searching, like, this is a good opportunity for me to develop and have a few clients, and seeing some progress, and just looking forward to helping more people, and just really get help their finances get on the right track.
Mm-hmm. What would you say is the most challenging part of what you do?
Well, the challenge is just patience. You didn't, in that situation overnight, and getting out of it overnight is not always the case. And that's something that I could say, growing up, kind of been in a church, is like there's some things that people have heard, or their financial situation that's not hopeless. It's just that you need some coaching. You might need some encouragement. And honestly, the hardest part is really confronting where you are, getting organized, understanding, hey, it's not as bad as you think it is. You don't know till you confront it, but having somebody in a third party, or somebody that, is trustworthy, and say, we can do this, and sit down and really going through the details and say, okay, it's okay. We can make it. And that's something that I needed. And I want to be that person for the families, the individuals, single moms, or it doesn't matter if you're married or professional on retirement. It's not too late. And that's part of what I love about it. You can do it. It can be done. There's been a lot of opportunities or testimonies regarding people not just being debt free, actually living their life. And that is a bondage, regardless of you're in the church or not. It's a bondage, and that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, there's a financial, I don't want to call it financial planning, but financial, I don't know. Well, I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, I know what you're
Your finances and
Yeah.
your relationship to wealth. You talked about it as being a bondage.
Right.
People understand that like you said, once they confront where they are in their financial picture and what tools are available to assist them in moving forward, um, it's really, really a great position to be in because then you
Yes.
can go on to do other things that you may want to do. So, is goal setting, do you do goal setting with your clients from a financial perspective in addition to assisting them in becoming debt free?
Yes, I would say that's part of it. Like I said, every couple, every individual is different what they need. Some are more aggressive, assertive with their game plan, and it's just okay. 6 months, a year, 5 years. It all depends. One of the main aspects of the Ford Financial Group is also that getting the game plan, having the financial plan, is that we want to get in a position of you can including get out of debt. And most people don't bring in their mortgage, but also your mortgage within 5 to 7 years. Now, my wife and I, we didn't fall in that percentile, but as you get the game plan and you start working it, you can, we can replay the numbers and say, you'll be out of debt in this amount of years. And we found out that is the case for a lot of people. They just, like I said, that get that first initiation, or get started with that first consultation and get moving. And that's again, it's all free of charge, just getting started.
Yeah. So, how do you get compensated for your services if you're not charging people?
That's a good question. So again, regarding, depending on the services, life insurance, like I said, regarding investments, there's certain categories or, suitability, going over what they have available as far as what they're able to invest in, and also regarding getting a will done. So I'm licensed in those areas to not to be a fiduciary, but to offer life insurance, term life, and also, working in the annuity area. And that's primarily, and also referrals, we can in that area, but life insurance and in the investment side of annuities.
I was going to ask you, as an entrepreneur, besides referrals, how do you generate clients for your business?
As through your more market, right. This is people that and reach out to, and just getting, it's relationship business. So just building relationships, and just like I said, that's building that long term. And then from there, people, they may know that, has this been of value to you? Can you, reach out to somebody you may benefit from this, and, you build up a clientele that way. And also, videos, you could do some Facebook page and other advertisement as well.
So, who would be your ideal client, and what can a client do to have the most successful experience with you?
But typical ideal client would be a family, a married couple, that has a positive income stream, has kids or maybe living in the home, and is ready to primarily, if they're looking to retire or on the brink of retirement, and have money in their 401k, or maybe look at their insurance side of things, to say, if they have enough coverage needed for them as they get older. And so married couples, but work with single parents, people just really just want to just be willing to hear the opportunity and go from there. It doesn't matter how old you are. 18, being to be as the youngest, somebody that again is working, has positive cash flow.
So, would you say, like, if I were to come to you for assistance, what does success look like on the other side after we've completed working together? What does success look like?
Success is look at your financial plan once you get the information, and then assess where you are, where you're looking to go. As far as if you have a negative debt, of course, we want to look at that, and retirement, your age, and what kind of lifestyle that you really want to have. A lot of it is geared towards, say, people within the community of the church, but it's open to everybody. So if you have basically a heart for the things of God, you want to do something or give a certain amount or take that, vacation, things like that. You want to free up some money, say, I want to live like this and be more, positive impact in your community. That's typically that's kind of one of the main goals, that you could have more freedom to do what the Lord leads you to do without, being restricted or having to paying off the debt. But anybody, who's willing, as far as the success of that, it's just fulfilling those goals and that game plan. And then it's different because as you get older, the different needs change. So every year it'll be a follow up to see how things are going, and things change. If you want to cash out on your investment, we can look at certain things and other things in other areas, or leave a legacy to your children's children, or you want to give to a certain charity. So it varies on that individual, what it is. But I would say typically success is just fulfilling the assignment what you have in your heart, and the goals that you want to accomplish in your lifetime, and pass it on to somebody else or somebody within your family, and be that positive role model.
Yeah, so it's kind of like setting people up to be in a financial position to achieve goals that they're setting for themselves, whether that be to be debt free, to go into retirement, financially ready,
Right.
to set up something where they're providing a legacy or leaving something for their children. You also said you did some things with estate planning. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's not, let's say it's planning. It's just more if you don't have a will or something like that, we can set you up with just a service regarding having a will. Some people, fortunately, people of color, if you don't have a game plan for, God forbid something happens to your loved one, especially in this pandemic age. There's been a lot of deaths, and we want to make sure that your assets or your things that you've acquired are safe, or you want to pass it on to your kids. And having a will really puts you in a good position, protected, versus just having the state or somebody else, have say so. You want to have say so in your assets. You want to have say so in what you want to provide for your family. So those are one of the things we will provide. And it's not estate planning in that area, just providing a will as one of the services.
That's really, really important. And we've done several shows and had several different people come and speak about the importance of having a will. And there are other documents, there are about 5 altogether, that are important. So that, like you said, when you're not in a position to speak for yourself, who's able to speak for your behalf? And you don't have to be deceased; you could be just incapacitated in some respect. So that's something very important. I went to see my brother was in the hospital, and there's, I'm like, okay, dude, got to get your documents together here, because if something happens while you're in here, we need to know what your wishes are, what you want on your behalf. So I think it's very important, because you never know. With the pandemic, we've seen a lot more people transition, not just from COVID, but from other, other illnesses and diseases, and to, have your wishes be known is always very, very important. So we're going to segue a little bit and talk about being your own boss.
Okay.
So what do you wish someone would have told you before you embarked upon being an entrepreneur?
Wow, good question. I would say that don't. One of the main things is really be patient. Patience is something it's really thrown out there, but it's really a character that you have to work on, because you want to see immediate results, but it doesn't always come immediately. So being patient, I would say, being consistent, having persistent and commitment to, you got in this for a reason, and you want to make sure that you see it all the way out. You got to persevere towards, meeting those goals. Like I said, I have a young family, and I want, unfortunately, I would say that it's personal. that see my parents struggle or didn't have the right understanding or knowledge. And so certain things, didn't pan out. And I want to make sure that my kids and that understand, you want them to start having the right information to make the right decisions. And so being the own boss, it's really, the character has to be there. The right attitude is something that I'm always checking myself with, what kind of attitude, because that really determines a lot. You could have the right information, you could have the right kind of business, but if you treat people any kind of way, they're not going to receive that. So the attitude towards how you treat people, like I said, ideally, I would love to have a family, that has X amount of money to invest. That's wonderful. But the person that does it, like I said, a single mom or has 4 kids that don't know what to do. One of the things it's kind of like a ministry, to say, I'll help you get this started, and then we could go from there. The people who are less than $5,000 per se savings or don't have to invest, we do have some investments start at that low end. So the more money doesn't guarantee a higher market share. It's just a matter of just getting it started and how to plug it in. And so, like I said, attitude and not treating people the same, regardless if you're on the $1 million side or you're on the under $50,000 side. It doesn't matter. You treat with respect, be professional, and just being professional. Show up on time, even though the client's not ready. I have to be ready. Just be ready and be upfront about what's going on. So those are the things that challenge myself on, and just be clear, what the expectations are.
I like that consistency, persistence, patience, most
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
Sticking to your vision, knowing that it's not going to come overnight, but if you keep going, it will definitely come. All of those, and professionalism, all of those are very, very good. And how do you said you had a young family, how do you balance your time between family and God and work, everything that you need to do?
Well, yes, and it's just tough. Like I said, I have an awesome wife. I still work. Not this is some part time. I want to make it more full time, but it's the balance. And one of the things that my schedule, I have a better schedule than before, so this really helps with how much I can put time into it. So the balance is, I have a certain time frame with my kids, husband and wife. I have to make sure that our weekends, we have a date night. And then, regarding the spiritual side, that's constant. So I'm also reading and studying and meditating. But at the same time, you got to make time for the business, make sure I set up the clients, follow through, looking 8 to 10 hours when you can. You want to do more, which was allotted to you. So just the discipline of doing that. So it's a balance, just having a set schedule and being regimented.
Yeah, I like that. Being on a schedule, being regimented. It's one of the things that I have to work on. Being on a consistent schedule.
Yeah.
Work for other people. They put you on a schedule, right?
Right.
You show
Yeah.
up, and not show up. When you go to lunch, all of those things. But when you work for yourself, we tend to work more hours than most people. I'm up early.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And stay up late sometimes to service my clients. So it's really important. What advice would you give to someone who desires to do what you do?
Well, I would say, have an open heart, be open to it. The good news is that I had to travel to the actual home site, to Ohio and Albany and in the Ohio area. So I had to drive, but it was a good 3-day kind of training and drive back, to Delaware. So now most of the training's online. And so I would just say, just be open to it. If you have a heart for people and a willingness to learn financially be more literate and really see people, overcome. Just be open to it, and be willing to. There's some sacrifice of anything, and just be willing to just have an open mind to this idea. This is different. There's a lot of different companies that financially that you can't even get in the door, or they're not going to sit down to you unless you have a certain amount of income or assets, and that's okay. This is more open to the middle class, or you could say lower income class, but it's anybody. But a lot of people get overlooked, and that's what I like. Just having an open mind to say, we're willing to help you where you are, and we're willing to have that open heart to share, and be willing to see people overcome it, and like I said, there's some immediate success, and also over time, you'll build a good clientele with this.
So I guess I would ask too, how has being a Christian, and what spiritual practices that do you use in your work life? Like, what is that?
Wow, good question. I would say it goes back to the attitude and remembering that that like I said, it's personal. That when I needed help, and being godly, it wasn't enough. Of course, on God's end, He has principles, He has the Word, and there's relationships. It's just a matter of who do you talk to, and that's the thing with the practice here, is that there's a system in place. There's a game plan of, once we go through the information, now you can assess, okay, that's what I needed to hear. That's what I needed to do, and build that relationship over time. I'm a big believer in, you got to trust is earned. You got to pass the test. You should have a testimony or something that, why is this different, or what stands out? Hear that person's testimony, and see if it, sits well within your heart with the things that you're looking to do, or does it line up, and go from there. As far as the principles, just like I said, you got to, that trust has to be earned, and ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions. If you don't understand, ask a lot of questions. That's something I wish I'd understood, what to ask, how to ask, what I'm looking for. So now I have that, and I want to empower other families with the same knowledge or the same understanding, and build that relationship from there.
Indeed. So how has being a partner at Victory in Christ Christian Center, and also being in the Victorious Business Professional Ministry, how has that impacted your business life?
It's been a good challenge. Like I said, it's working on being a better version of yourself. Things don't get done unless you get involved, or initiate. And this is one of those, especially with the Victorious Business Professional, to initiate and to be a part of a group that, bring in my expertise, or learn from other professionals. What I need to work on. Iron sharpens iron, and that's part of really what the overall, with being a part of Victory, especially the men's, and being in the mentoring. I have under one of the elders there, the leadership and being accountable. That's one of the main things, being accountable, and having that responsibility. I want to do better, but now I have the tools to do better, and then be accountable to get it done. And that's really what growing up and maturing what it is. And it's uncomfortable, but that's part of the growth, so this is one of those things that you got to grow through and mature, and that's the reward, so that's why I look at it, and you got to keep going until you get to that expected end.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, Victory is a wonderful place to grow spiritually, to grow in business through the Victorious Business Professional Ministry, and to grow in life. It's a
Yes. Yes.
place to be mentored. As you said, and the church has various mentorship programs that are amazing. So, what do you have next? Are there any events, activities, promotions that you want to share with everyone about what you've got coming up next, what you're up to in your business?
There's no promotions for say like it's just getting putting a name with a face that that just getting more advertisement, just putting up, getting more visibility within the company, and so there's they don't like to do promotions or things like that. It's just getting more visible with the business. So.
How can people contact you?
It can be contacted through my email address. That is dcollick at forwardfinancialgroup.com. That is DCOLLICK at forwardfinancialgroup.com. And my mobile number is 610-755-8269. And that you can shoot me an email or send me you can call me or send me a text, and we can set up a time to get your game plan. And I'm also have a website that is forwardfinancialgroup.com, but it is a / the letter D .Collick. So that is forwardfinancialgroup.com / D .Collick. That's the letter D as a dog .COLLICK. And that is email my website. It'll go over an overview of the company and what we offer. And you can also send an email me that way. We can set up a time for the appointment.
Awesome. Wow, Darian, I just want to thank you for being our entrepreneur business spotlight today. It was an excellent opportunity to shine the light on you and what you're doing and how you are helping families with their financial literacy. It's a free service, as you said, so people reach out to Darian to see if he can help you be debt free, move forward in your financial planning goals towards retirement, and also towards leaving a legacy for your family. So just thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Again, my name is Clara Lyons-DeVaughn. I'm the director of the Victorious Business Professional Ministry, and every fourth Sunday at 2 p.m., we stream live on Facebook and YouTube, and we highlight a different entrepreneur who attends Victory in Christ Christian Center and is a part of our business directory. We also, at 3 o'clock, directly following this show, so it'll be in a few minutes, we'll be having our VBP Connect, or VBP Network. And I put the information, it's our coffee break. Grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a snack, and come out and network with us. You can register, because that's on a different platform, at bit.ly VBP Network. That's bit.ly VBP Network. It's on the screen so that you can register. That is via Zoom. So come network with other business professionals. Today we're going to be talking about branding your business. So it's going to be a really informative session. We always do many topics, as well as provide an opportunity for folks to network with each other. You don't have to be a member of Victory in Christ Christian Center to come and network with us. But if you are in business or you are an entrepreneur, you are more than welcome to come and network with us today as well. If you want to know about our upcoming events, our email is vbp@victoryinChrist.cc, and you can always check out our Facebook page to see what we have got going on. Our next major event is not until June. We just had our writers workshop, and we'll be having our business expo in June. So I invite you all to come and participate with us for that as well. But until then, I just want to thank you for joining us, Darian, today. Thank you for sharing about your business and what you're up to. And thank those of you who have joined us. We will see you again, hopefully at 3 o'clock. Take care.
All right. Thank you.